Right.
The sooner investors take action, the better their chances of, recovering their losses and holding those responsible accountable.
It's a stark reminder that investing always carries, some level of risk.
Hmm.
And that while there are, legitimate opportunities out there, there are also those who seek to exploit investors, for their own gain.
That's why due diligence is absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
Investors need to do their research, ask tough questions, and be wary of anything that seems too good to be true.
It's a message we can't repeat often enough,
Right.
especially in today's world where, scams and financial schemes are becoming increasingly sophisticated.
Absolutely. Investors need to be vigilant. They need to be aware of the red flags, and they need to protect themselves from, becoming victims of financial misconduct.
And on that note, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the broader lessons we can all learn from this.
Okay.
For our listeners who are, thinking about investing or who are already active investors,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways
Hmm.
from the TCFGC case? Welcome back, everyone. We've been unpacking a really complicated situation with TCFGC,
Yeah.
a company that initially seemed like a great investment
Hmm.
in sustainable agriculture, but turned out to be much more troubling than it appeared.
Yeah, it's definitely a case that highlights, that dark side of the investment world and the importance of protecting yourself from, scams and financial misconduct.
So let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about some broader lessons we can all learn from this.
Sure.
For our listeners who are, thinking about investing or who are already active investors,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways from the TCFGC case?
I think one of the biggest takeaways is that trust should never be a substitute for due diligence.
Okay.
Just because a company presents itself as ethical or sustainable or even uses a celebrity endorsement,
Right.
that doesn't mean it's a safe or legitimate investment.
It's like that old saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. You got to look beyond the surface. You got to dig deeper. You got to ask the tough questions.
So what are some practical steps listeners can take to protect themselves?
Hmm.
What kind of due diligence should they be doing before they hand over their hard-earned money?
Well, the first step is to, research the company and its leadership thoroughly.
Okay.
Check their website, read their financial statements, look for independent reviews and news articles.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just rely on the information they provide, in their marketing materials.
And what about the individuals involved?
Yeah,
Should we be looking into their backgrounds as well?
absolutely. In this age of information, there's really no excuse for not doing a background check.
Okay.
Look for any red flags, past legal issues, financial troubles, anything that might, raise concerns about their trustworthiness or competence.
So research the company, research the leadership.
Right.
What else should we be on the lookout for?
Be wary of high-pressure sales tactics.
Okay.
If someone is trying to rush you into an investment or is making unrealistic promises about, guaranteed returns, that's a major red flag.
And what about this whole, offshore entity thing? How can we know if our money is going to be handled responsibly and transparently?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Offshore entities can be legitimate,
Right.
but they can also be used to obscure financial transactions and make it more difficult to track funds.
Right.
If you're considering an investment that involves an offshore entity, proceed with extreme caution
Okay.
and seek professional advice.
So it sounds like the key is to, be informed, be skeptical,
Yeah,
and to never be afraid to walk away from an investment if something doesn't feel right.
that's exactly right. Your gut instinct can be a powerful tool.
Yeah.
If something feels off or too good to be true, it probably is.
This has been a truly eye-opening conversation.
Yeah.
We've gone from what seemed like a simple investment in sustainable agriculture to uncovering, layers of potential fraud,
Right.
misleading marketing,
Hmm.
and shadowy offshore dealings.
It's a stark reminder that the investment world can be a complex and sometimes dangerous place.
Yeah.
But with the right knowledge and a healthy dose of skepticism, investors can protect themselves from, becoming victims.
And if you find yourself in a situation where you think you've been, misled or defrauded,
Yeah.
don't hesitate to reach out for help.
Yeah.
Report it to the authorities
Mm.
and seek legal advice from a specialist.
Remember, you're not alone.
Yeah.
There are resources available to support you. and to help you navigate these challenging situations.
Well said. A huge thank you to our expert guest for sharing your insights and expertise with us today.
Of course.
It's been an incredibly informative discussion.
It's been my pleasure. I hope this conversation, helps empower investors to make informed decisions and to stay safe in the financial world.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and as always, happy investing.